How's it going, guys? My name is Voss, and this is our senior design project. And if we don't get this situation fixed, we're probably not going to get to race. So. All right. We have Dr. B here. He's our advisor. He's been making all this happen. You want to educate us on what's going on?
You need all four wheels to lock completely for technical safety inspection. Right now our right wheel is not. So I am doing a bit of a caliper rehab here, tearing the whole thing apart and making sure it's clean, and we'll see if we can get it working again.
Dr. B just cleaned up our cylinder here, and one thing we noticed was this piston was not actuating and was not engaging, so they just went ahead and cleaned it, threw some degreaser on there, and it seems to be, if you press the, and then you can tell that it comes out. If I press back in, it seems to be working now, so hopefully this fixes our problem, or we're going to be out a side of brakes, and then maybe not get to go to the competition. So we did a little more cleaning, and Dr. B is going to explain kind of some other stuff that we uncovered.
So the pads ride on these pins, and they had some buildup on there. So the possibility that the pads would not slide back and forth, and thus not give us our good braking force. So again, good cleaning. Let's see if we can get it working.
So we're greasing up the little pins that are going to go back in, and hopefully this will let this engage properly, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so we got the brake fixed up, and Dr. B is going to do the acceleration test and see if we can get all four wheels to lock, and hopefully we can get this going. So let me go ahead and fire this up. It's closer. It's so close, but it's not entirely done yet.
Anybody else want to drive it?
So we did another acceleration test, and you can tell this is off because it didn't work. What's going on? Just sucks, doesn't it? So I think we've narrowed it down. This is a TRX 400X front caliper system. So the new pads, they're, what'd you say, like $10, $12, something like that?
Yeah, they're cheap.
So hopefully we can get some new ones ordered, and they're gonna get here by the end of the week, and we can change the pads out. If not, next step would be to change that. And if that still doesn't work, I'm just gonna put our 2 weeks in because it's over now. So
I'll still see you.
we did a little more work off camera, RJ, Molly, and I, and we actually had to go to a shop close to us to try and get this to fit back up, but we're running into the same issue. This caliper and this rotor, it engages without any load, but the second you get it up on wheels and go take it outside, doesn't want to work. So we're gonna try and get this going. If not, we're just gonna, I don't know, we might have to get a new replacement system. We might have to change the entire Woolwood system up here. It sounds expensive. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think's going on with the problem? What's your guess?
I don't know. Something's probably just plugged up in this right-hand side of the line, so we'll just get that taken care of.
A potential culprit could be the 90. It's coming down from the front reservoir right here, and it comes down like this, and it splits off there, and this one goes into a 90 that runs out from the pressure switch outside. So that could be a potential problem. We're still working on it, but we're gonna try.
Check the pressure switch as well. Maybe flip our pressure switch upside down from where it's at now. So we'll try that.
So we're gonna get to go working on this a little more and keep you updated and see what happens. So we just flipped this pressure switch around here. Let me get around so you can get a better view. But we just flipped this around, and we're gonna rebleed these brakes. Well, RJ, Molly, and I are gonna try and rebleed these brakes, but we've been pretty unsuccessful thus far with this. So hopefully this is what is this, attempt like 15, 16 on this, trying to get this to work.
2 minutes.
I don't know, man, but we're gonna try and get this going. If not, we're putting the 2 weeks in and calling it a day. So let's do it.
All right, hold on. Very good. Push down. All right. Should be.
It's a new day, and we still haven't fixed the brake problem, but we're working on it. And right now, the conclusions we've come down to is we have a slight leak here, which could be caused by this gasket, but that's just an O-ring. Runs down, there's a little T fitting down there that switches to the left and the right, and it runs like this to this pressure switch. And our guess right now is this pressure switch is where the block's causing, so is the buildup's happening. So we're gonna try and remove that and run some other fitting just without a pressure switch and see if that works. And if it does, we'll have to reroute that switch to the front here, to the top of the cylinder, and see if that makes a difference. But yeah, right now it's not going so well, and we're kind of running out of options. So okay, so we've run into some more issues. We were working on the brakes, but we had some other stuff come up. This is our front right assembly for where the A-arms fit up into, and what's going on?
Just the steering hub parts that we got online just didn't fit. They're not a 1/2 inch, but they're not a 1/2 inch, so it's really weird thread. So we're just gonna go with this part that we had laying around, try to get it to work.
And we're about a week and a half out, and it's looking like we're gonna be cutting it very close to the timeline. So we're gonna go down to our welder, and he's gonna help us out, and hopefully we can get this on the get this going and get this all put back together. So let's do it. So we just got to Wicked Welding. I'm here with Pete. He runs this place. He's a big part of why we're getting this done and working. And he came up with a couple ideas, and we're gonna take apart. He's working on it right now. Take this apart and run a piece of the steel out a little further, and this should help with our steering. But we're not entirely sure. This is mostly RJ's fault for making this like this. But yeah, so we're gonna work on it. And so Pete, what do you guys do here? What is your primary specialization?
For the most part, we don't do a lot of fabricating. We repair plastic injection molds, dies. We support the tooling industry. We have a limited machining capacity, but for the most part, the industries we serve are medical, aviation, and tool and die.
And they're the biggest part of how we learned how to weld and get a lot of this up and going. So if you guys ever need any, fabrication or welding or any sort of help in the Dayton area or just about anywhere, just give them a call. So yeah, we'll get going. we're back from Pete's, and we got a lot of things that we can go and essentially we've got a day's worth of stuff that we need to get done and not a lot of time left. Starts with getting a stupid snap ring that goes in here, and because our throttle cable flew out and now we have no way of securing it in place. So we're working on that, but we got RJ and he's gonna talk us through everything that we just did there and everything that needs to get done for us to be competition ready.
All right, we got our new tie rods here. We decided to shorten them, so we cut them, put a little rod in there, and then welded back around them. And then these are our Ackerman adjusters. They'll go here on our hub, just to offset where the ball joint for the steering goes. So that way the wheels turn on the same radius instead of kind of fighting each other. If you look at the tread on the tires, it's all sideways up in here. It's just because the tires are fighting each other and they're kind of like they're pulling each other over whenever you turn left or right. So
you know, we got a day's worth of work to do in like 3 hours, and we got a lot of stuff we need to look at. You know, huge thanks to Pete and Wicked Welding and the rest of the guys there for making us this steering adjustment, and we're gonna get to work. Okay, we did a little more work off camera, and we got this little bracket mounted up to our buggy, to the caliper system, to everything. And RJ, can you explain a little more what is the benefit of having that there, and essentially what we're trying to do?
What it does is just allows these two wheels, whenever they turn, this wheel and the other wheel will turn on the same radius, so they're not fighting each other. Whenever you go to turn the wheel, they're moving along the same radius, the same arc essentially. So it's just easier steering.
It's the Ackerman, right? Ackerman properties.
Yeah, it's called Ackerman steering,
and I mean, a big plus we're gonna have here is before we switched to the clevis pin, we had ball joints in, and even though the ball joints were rated for what we were trying to do, I mean, they kept popping out with the little bit of, you know, the slightest bump or anything, and they'd come right out, or you turn the wheel a little too hard. So, you know, by incorporating the system, we should eliminate that and should put a lot less stress on the clevis, you know, the clevis pin. Hopefully, that's the plan here. At least we're gonna see how it works.
Yeah, it wasn't really the Ackerman. I don't think that was causing the ball joints. I think it was just
everything
with the caster. It was just popping them out. The wheels tend to want to sit a little bit more inward just because of the way we have it set up. So
we still haven't fixed the braking issue, and unfortunately we're not going to get to it in this one. Hopefully tomorrow we can get. Problem is we're waiting on parts and we don't have what we need, so it's kind of a struggle. And our brake lines, they're amazing and they're fantastic, but they're so custom that it's hard to get replacement stuff when needed. So we're gonna hopefully get the rest of this set up and tomorrow try to get this going. So if you guys like this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more content, and we'll see you next video. Thanks.